I understand that there are those who seek political advantage and try to raise a scary specter. We need a president and we need law enforcement that focuses on the threat. It is standard law enforcement. If you have a neighborhood that is plagued by gang activity, it is standard and good law enforcement to direct more resources to work with the community that is facing gang activity, to stop the gang members, to take them off the street. And I would note, in a community with increased gang activity, it is the law-abiding citizens of the community that pay the price in property damage, that pay the price in terms of rapes and sexual assaults and physical assaults, that pay the price in terms of drive-by shootings and murders. And so it is standard, good policing to direct your resources to where the threat is coming from. We should do the exact same thing with radical Islamic terrorism. And if you want to see how not to do it, look at many of the isolated communities in Europe, where Europe's immigration policies have allowed a massive influx of radical Islamic terrorism into Europe. And they have isolated and secluded neighborhoods where radicalism festers. And it leads to the kind of attacks we saw today. We need to be directing our efforts at stopping that from happening, stopping isolated communities from festering jihadism. We need to work proactively with the Muslim community, cooperatively, just like when law enforcement is going after gang activity, you work with the community where gangs are located to prevent those acts of violence. In this case, we're not talking about criminal activity, we're talking about acts of war. And this president, just like Mayor de Blasio here in New York, refuses to use the tools we have because he's more interested in following his partisan political agenda than he is in keeping Americans safe.
But what constitutes a
Right,
Muslim
and we have to ensure that that's a
Last
productive relationship and not an adversarial one between law enforcement and Muslim communities.
You do so by working cooperatively with those communities. Listen, I would note, one of the strongest leaders worldwide in targeting radical Islamic terrorism is President al-Sisi.